Hello everyone. So in this lecture series, we are seeing the arrays and strings. So in this presentation, we are going to see what is meant by two-dimensional array. I already told in the previous slide, array in generally categorized into three types. One is one-dimensional array. The second one is two-dimensional array. The third one is multi-dimensional array. Yeah, let us start with a declaration. Yeah, so we must understand that what is mean by what is mean by two-dimensional array. It contains in a matrix form, which means that it contains the rows and columns. Let us see the syntax along with one example. So data type, array name, the row size and the column size. The example is mentioned below. The int x 3 then 2, which means that the int is a data type, x is name of an array, 3 mentioned the size of row, the 2 mentioned the column. So here the array is totally 3 rows and 3 columns. That's all. For an example, here they are actually the diagram which is shown here is 3 rows 3 columns, but in example they have mentioned 3 rows and 2 columns, but actually you have to assume like that 3 rows 3 columns. So as I already told you that the starting location always start with an 0, whether it is row or column, it always start with 0. So 0 1 2, so totally 3 rows, similarly 3 columns. Yeah, next we are going to see the array initialization. I already told, while declaring an array, if we assign values to that array, then it is called as an initialization. For an example, yeah, this is the right example I think. So int x 3 of 3, which means that 3 rows 3 columns. Then we have to assign some values there. For an example, 1 comma 52 75 84 something, some values are assigned. How it can be stored? Very simple logic. Here, what is the length of the column? 3. So first 3 value is assigned to the first row. For an example, 152 is assigned to the first row. The next 3 values 75, 8 and 4 is assigned to the next row. Finally, the last 3 values 9, 33 and 77 are assigned to the next rows. That's all. So with the help of below diagram, we can easily understand that how values are stored in an array. Very simple one. Yeah. This is a very simple program. How the values are assigned to an array. A very simple program. Program always start with an header file. Inside the main function, we have created a 3 into 3 array, which means 3 rows 3 column matrix in between. So then we have assigned some values. How we can get those values, that is very important. If you are using a single dimensional array or one dimensional array, the basic for loop is enough. If you want to read the values from that array and display it, the for loop is enough. Here we are using a matrix formats, so rows and columns. So for in this two-dimensional array, we need a nested for loop. So if we start with 0, we have to display all the values from that particular row. So if we go for a next row 1, we need to display all the values from that particular row. So we need nested for loop concept. So single for loop is not sufficient, it's not enough to display or read the values when you are using a two-dimensional array. If you are using a two-dimensional array, you must use nested for loop. So what is meant by nested for loop? A for loop is located inside a for loop. So that is a concept of nested for loop. So see the output of this program. So a of 0 0 is 10, a of 0 1, which means that That value 20 is assigned to a of 0, 1. So which means that 0 through first column. That's all. That's a very simple concept. This is very simple logic. Okay. So that's all about the two-dimensional array declaration, initialization, one simple program. Thank you.